surveys. The surveys are all that they've got to travel, and that they are prioritising that. And it's like you were saying, to travel is to live, right? This quote at the beginning, I think people it's still this reaction against going out. So yeah, maybe they will downgrade. Even in China, when we were talking about the Chinese economy not doing very well, but outbound starting, Chinese travellers are still going to travel, but maybe they will just downgrade things a little bit. Maybe instead of going super long haul, they'll go medium haul. Instead of medium haul, they'll go short haul.
Yeah.
It's still there.
But to echo what she says, that's the recession or the economic impact will not really give an impact much on travel. The traveling is already a culture. There's a must for the people. The only thing is where they're going. If they used to enjoy the cold weather in Switzerland, now because of the recession, they might go to Vietnam, to Da Nang. Okay? Or even, that means that people, the reduction of the income, for example, people, we can hold the desire of buying a Gucci or Tag Heuer or the PK and so on. But for traveling, they have to go.
So the experience counts more than the physical, tangible product.
Yes.
Then?
So that means that the only thing is where they are going to. Instead of going to the expensive places, or they go to the nearby. So for the tourism players, don't worry, you might not get a European, but you will getting a Singapore or Thailand. So people still come and spend. Of course, maybe in terms of number of total expenditure will be reduced, but the business is still can go on with the economic limitation.
So for you in Malaysia, you think, okay, everybody will just move around, there'll be kind of people pivoting between different segments. But actually for you, the big one is China, right? China is a huge portion. So when China reopens, and recently in the past 1 to 2 weeks, visas have relaxed a lot. So I remember when China was reopening, they said about 2 months ago, they said, okay, it's very hard. So we haven't seen the arrivals coming through. And I'm sorry, Ajay, do you see that China revenge travel manifests itself? Because I know he hates the word revenge. Do you think revenge is going to manifest itself with China, right? And when is that taking place? Q3, Q4?
Of course. You see, China, in actual fact, they're not really open yet. They are open, but there is some limitation of traveling for Chinese tourists. And of course, after being absent for quite some time, and everybody are hungry for Chinese. Not only Malaysia, I think the most affected is the neighboring country like Vietnam, Thailand, and so on. However, with the numbers, huge population of Chinese, everybody will have the fair share of the Chinese traveling. But for us in Malaysia, our big challenges is our connectivity. Our connectivity is only now at this moment we only have about less than 50% of what we used to have it in 2019. So back to the airline who provide opportunity for Chinese tourists to come here to Malaysia, and we will be really right. But compared with Thailand and Vietnam, who have the close border, I think they are the first to enjoy the relaxation of the Chinese tourists to go out.
I guess then the question is for China, do you think, pre-pandemic, right, they always do this Sing-Ma-Tai combo, like the combos are more diverse, it's not only a single destination. I'm just wondering from a crystal ball standpoint, do we know what the nature and structure of the Chinese traveler will be in the next 6 months or 9 months? Do we think it's still package deals where they will try all different countries, or are they going to be very single-minded? I'm just doing Malaysia only, because that's going to frame how we think about capacity as well, right?
Sorry. Again, the post-pandemic also changed the behavior of the Chinese tourists. We can see that they are more on FIT. The trend towards the FIT is getting high as compared with there used to be a group. And there will be a smaller group, and they will be on their own preference destination. It's no longer shopping. They will also involve the activity, the destination.
Yeah. So very good point. So Luqman, just bringing you to the picture. I remember last time, right, pre-pandemic, like it's group charters, group bookings, and it's all these secondary cities. Is that going to be the first movement of recovery? Are we going to be focusing on the FIT major cities, right, to start off with first?
I think for a start, the group will still be relevant from the Chinese market, but we are seeing a lot more demand now for FITs. This is where I think as an airline we also start to work with OTAs as well to balance it out. Of course, we are partnering closely with trade to work with a lot of big groups coming out of the southern China and things like that into cities in Malaysia. But FITs is key, therefore we are creating this kind of access. And therefore our migration towards NDC will enable a lot of content. Now for the travel agent, 20 years in cargo, a bit difficult to remove that word. So anyway, for travel agents, with NDC that enables a lot of more content and a lot more direct access for the current consumer. I think it's a good trend going forward.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, and just what Ajay was saying just now, right? How do the travel trade evolve with technology coming through? And this is where, look, I'm a bit nervous asking this question because we're in a physical consumer fair, whereas we all know that we are transitioning towards digital technology. Perhaps the answer is that we need a confluence of technology and also physical interface to make that work, right? So help me understand how, as an airline, do you bridge and work with the travel partners, right, to basically enrich content through NDC? At the same time, how do you build direct relationships as well with the consumer to push forward a specific destination?
I think on that respect, I think the role of the travel agent will remain key, because for us, we just providing the air connectivity, but for travelers, for tourists, they need to have those kind of other hotels, transport, whatever not. And with this, only the travel agent are able to package. But now with this new connectivity with the travel agent, I think that can be packaged. People are able to see a lot more content. Like for instance, right now, you can even select seats, what I've not with this technology compared to one that we have previously. Right? That's one. Secondly, just to add a bit on domestic or this region, I think when borders are closed, you are seeing a lot of local travels. And this creates a lot of content for individual countries. And it's no longer the like of Langkawi, Phuket, or Bali. This is where the 5 Indonesians are looking at, like, for instance, Labuan Bajo, Manado, and things like that will start to pop up. And as far as airlines concerned, especially when we talk about the Chinese tourists, we are trying to create a product that enables them to not only to have one destination country, maybe multiple destination country in ASEAN.
And so you talk about content, and Ajay, you were saying just now that actually agents play such a crucial role in curating the content in whatever form and shape, right? Are you worried about ChatGPT? Do you think that will replace the travel agent?
They said the travel agent was dead years ago. They said that years and years ago. Airlines don't pay us commission, but we still survive. So, we're not going anywhere. What you need to do is be a step ahead. Use the technology that's available. Because not everybody understands everything that's there on the net. You have an overload of information and very little discretion in what to choose. And that's where a travel professional comes in. Because then you pick and choose and put your package together in the best way for your passenger as well as for your bottom line. And if ChatGPT and artificial intelligence gets even better, I'd say great, because then that gives me more information to work with. So I think we just need to learn how to use the technology and package it the way it ought to be done for everybody.
And the key differentiator then is people, right? Getting that travel professional who really, really knows how to customize, who really knows the customer, who can leverage technology. But we've known, right, pre-pandemic, that the whole industry has been ravaged. It's super difficult to get travel professionals who really know.
You can say that again. You can say that again. Staff shortages are something that everybody in the industry is having to live with, whether it's hotels or it's tour operators and agents.
Airlines
and airlines too. Yeah. Look at the visa. In India we had US and UK visas and European visas, appointments available in 2025. because the people who were there working as visa officers were laid off or quit or whatever, and nobody's come back. So this is the huge challenge. And Hannah actually, hit upon something which is a tough one, because if you need to attract new talent into the industry, you need to pay them at the rate that other industries are paying as well. And I'm afraid we don't do that. Yeah. So we have a challenge there, but yeah.
So what does it take then to bring them back? What does it take to rebuild then the talent? Because does it require just simply to pay more, or what do we need to do differently? Do you need intervention from government? How does it work?
You need, you need to pay them more, that's for sure. At the starting level, they're not being paid what a call center would pay them, for example, So we need to find a way to increase our bottom line so that you can hire better staff. But you also need to go out and, start young. Basically, you need to sow the seed of the thrill of tourism into younger people. Because this is not something that, anybody and everybody can do. It requires a certain passion. It requires there's a thrill to it. And if you get the kids involved when they're still in, school or college, and they start to imagine geography, geography is a great way to get them interested. So it's got to work at more than just the cash level. We need to do something about that.
It extends beyond the cash, I'm sure, right? You kind of ignite that flame, the excitement of travel per se. I wonder then, Dato, you have a good landscape of how, travel professionals are struggling, right? Or even struggling to recruit, not only airlines, travel trade, but even, massage areas and all that, right? Spa therapists and such, right? There's a big problem. Where are the huge gaps in Malaysia? Where are we finding manpower gaps still? And how are we addressing that actually?
Of course, I agree with Mr. Ajay mentioned just now is how much we pay them. And then, of course, we have a talents in the industry which also been pinched by neighboring country who are offering the same numbers but different value, different currency. Okay, so if we can match here, of course, against the confidence and interest on, we have to build, and then to make sure that whatever amount they take back is the most important for them to come back to the industry. Recently, we're talking about not enough driver for the bus persiaran, not enough driver for the limousine, and so on. Again, why it's happened is because again, it's people work because of how much they can get back, the number of hours that they are spent, and the amount of money that they bring back. So you'll be able to compete with other industry. You should be able to survive and to get back the workers to come back.
So basically, it is getting the compensation fixed. How do we kind of make that work? I'm going to pause for a while and open again the floor if you have any questions so that you don't need to hear my silly questions anymore. I don't want to dominate the whole conversation. Do any of you here on the floor have questions that you want to ask this esteemed panel?